hello. Checking the connections here on the Instagram, but on YouTube. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Talk Live. Tonight we are live on a Thursday night, just before the weekend, with an inflammatory topic. Let me see what's happening with my Instagram. I don't know what's going on over here, but it is driving me nutty batty. Just 1 second, people. Okay, well, we have that on, but I don't understand what is going on. And let's try it again because I don't see what's happening. Yeah, it's the connection. What is up with the connection here on Instagram? Okay, there we go. We finally got it. We finally cracked the code. We are live. Welcome to Talk Live. Live on IG and YouTube. We are live. We are simulcast. We are ready to go here. Hope you had a great day. The clouds are slowly clearing away here in the city of Toronto, and we are doing our thing, and we are moving forward tonight with a very incendiary topic. But first, I have to give a shout out to my nephew. He was featured on a local TV show, local news show, CP24 today, with these T-shirts that I hold right here for the Pinball Clemens Foundation. Giving kids a chance at scholarship programs and at a better shot at life, quite simply through mentoring and through great opportunities in the work world for whatever career that they may feature if they are a feature student. So, and an all-around good student, scholar, an all-around good person, quite simply. And this shirt was featured on as a new artwork for the Pinball Clemens Foundation. Thank you very much to my nephew for allowing me to wear this shirt for him. It was heavily featured today on Talk Live, and will be featured as well at the Pinball Clemens charity ball that's happening, I believe June 1st. Yes, I believe June 1st next month downtown, in which my nephew will be a feature presenter on the program. So I thank you very much. Very nice. I saw it. Thank you very much, Mr. Night Nurse Kathy. Thank you very much. Yes, you did. You did see it. That was my nephew. If you saw the tall 6'2" guy in the background, that's my nephew. He's the maker of this artwork. So, yes, he is the nephew in whom I am well pleased. I'm well pleased with both of my nephews, quite simply. One is in aeronautics, another in astrophysicism. Wants to be an astrophysicist. I tell you what, mate, STEM has got these two by the short and curlies, and they're not letting go. So thank you very much for that, Night Nurse Kathy. Right, let's get into this Talk Live subject tonight. You know what? Just because you're legal counsel does not mean that you do the necessary due diligence to not make yourself look like an absolute fool overall. Not all legal counsel are equal, and especially one named Ebony K. Williams. She has her own little space on the YouTube streets, and she willfully speaks on many different subjects, including those of black males, and how it seems that black women are overtaking black males and quite simply making us redundant and overachieving us in terms of schools, in terms of enrollment, in terms of graduation, in terms of salary, in terms of overall life earnings and careers and overall way of life and elevation of life, and quite simply, I was asked if this was indeed true. So, because I'm a learned individual. I really like getting into the deep, getting into the woods, and really seeing if these words are true, and seeing if indeed black women are outpacing black men in terms of standard of living. That's the word I was trying to say. But it didn't take me long, really, to find that is indeed not the case. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk live on IG and YouTube, sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. The pants are Duntalk. The shirt is my nephew, so I'm wearing family wear everywhere here. These are my Duntalk is my sister's brand. My nephew's brand is I'm wearing right here on behalf of the Pinball Clemens Foundation. And yeah, let's just get into it. Let's get into it as we go into this. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Spring, summer line out now. So let's get into this quite quickly. You know what? I only have one. Repeat, one actual video to serve tonight, and it goes to refute a lot of what Ms. Ebony K. Williams has to say. There's Ms. Williams on the left. You may have seen her on such shows as Housewives of New York. She is the token black lady within the show who thinks that she is sweeter than fine wine, and we should all worship at her feet. And has the unmitigated goal, to say the least, of putting herself ahead of not only her black men, but the black race in general. She thinks she's a leader and such, and she's entitled to her opinion. She is a lawyer. She is called the bar, I believe, in New York. And well, again, the sun doesn't shine until she wakes up. Quite simply, and she is of that belief that she is above all others. Now, again, there will be a part two, more than likely tomorrow, on this subject, because she doesn't just stop here. She goes into other areas, such as the dating market, in which she, to put it in a phrase, she believes that she is above many, if all, black men, and we should measure up to her standards rather than the other way around. But here we are. We're just gonna stop that there. We're gonna get into this right now. We're going to this video by Medium Man. I subscribed to him today. He did an excellent breakdown on this one subject. Who are black men settling for? Because, well, let's just get into it. Let's hear the comments, and let's hear what she has to say. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. And we'll broaden the screen, and here we go.
Feel that the men that are available to us, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources.
Black women think that they make more money than black men, so they say that they have to settle for black men. So that's why I said, who's settling for who? It's crazy that we have to level set the conversation every time, because Ebony K. Williams will get on the show, or somebody like her, and say that, well, black women, we're not finding what we're looking for. Did you ever consider that other races of people may be settling for you all as well, since you guys are the lowest earners out of white and black men and women? Have y'all...
He came out swinging. He literally came out swinging there. He's asked a very pointed question, and that is, did you ever think that instead of you settling for us, it's actually the other way around. It's actually the black women who are being settled for by everyone else. And he goes into depth as to why he actually puts this assertion forward. Let's go.
Y'all ever thought about that?
Let me ask you this. Let's get to the logistics now. We know that black women are earning college degrees faster than anybody else. Many of us are doing like we're doing, Ayanla. We're getting those terminal degrees, those JDs, MD, PhDs.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let's get to the logistics now. We know that black women are earning college degrees faster than anybody else. Many of us are doing like we're doing, Ayanla. We're getting those terminal degrees, those JDs, MD, PhDs.
Yeah. She literally threw out an assertion saying that black women are outpacing, especially black men, and this is more or less a feminist assertion, because feminism is not about, it's not about anymore the equal footing of women to men. It's now about how women are superior to men. That's the feminist movement these days. That's the postmodern feminist movement. That is the phase 3. That is the takeover, right? Before, feminism was all about women being equal to men in terms of, in terms of job abilities, in terms of education, in terms of smarts. That's what feminism was really, and most men were on board with this. Now, postmodern, we're heading into a phase where women not only see themselves on average and on par with men, but superior to men, as was made by that assertion. She was saying that women are enrolling in colleges more, women are graduating with greater frequency, and as a result, women are outpacing men in terms of salary, and as was put forth by this GIF, that is cap. And we're going to get into it right now. Let's read this together. You can see this live on Talk Talk Live. For years, black women have been forward-thinking entrepreneurs who have repeatedly changed the course of history. Research has now shown that black women are the fastest group of entrepreneurs, but their lack of resources, they are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. Yes. Let us say that. But their lack of resources makes entrepreneurship challenging, meaning they don't take the risks necessary to make a lot of money. What you find black women getting into are, well, we'll find out a little later, things like nail salons and hair establishments, and counseling, and nothing to do with things that are dangerous, things that are dirty, and those careers that move society forward, utilities, construction, that sort of thing. So their lack of resources makes entrepreneurship challenging. They aren't going to do the dangerous and dirty, because that's where the money is paid. They'll do the little things that help women, really. They don't get into male-orientated careers. And I've already said this on Talk Talk Live. And it's brought up by this statement here. Researchers have shown that black women are the fastest group of entrepreneurs, but their lack of resources makes entrepreneurship challenging. Thank you by Yahoo. And it says by the title, black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, but there's a catch. What are you getting into? Nothing lucrative. Continue.
We also are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, along with Latina women in America.
This is one of the main ones that's used against black men. I pulled some of the pictures from these black business reports, and I want y'all to notice how they word it to make it seem like black women are just outpacing black men in regards to black businesses. So, black women own more businesses than black men. Let's level up the conversation. Most current, more than half of black business owners are men. By comparison, 55% of majority black or African American owned businesses in 2020 had male owners, while 37% were owned by women and 8% had equal male-female ownership.
Let's go back to that. It seems the lawyer didn't do her research. It seems the lawyer did not do her due diligence, did not do her research. And legal research is one of the tenets of being a lawyer. You can't put out statements without proof, without evidence. There is no evidence to what she has to say. Let's go into this. Again, by comparison, 55% of the majority of black or African American owned businesses in 2020 had male owners. Men are still the ones carrying the race in terms of business and risk through small business, through medium-sized business. American-owned businesses again in 2020 had 55% male owners, 37% were owned by women, and 8 had equal male-female ownership. So that assertion that she had made was not true. Not true. But a lot of women would like her tone and would believe it. But if you do the research like my gentleman here on, again, I want to get this right. Medium, man. Shout out to him. Subscribe to him, please. He's done the work that shouldn't be done but had to be done because a lot of women like Ebony K. Williams will make said statements and run with it. And then people start believing it. And it's like the old saying, you tell the lie so much, you start believing it. It started appearing to be true when in fact it is like the emperor without no clothes. No one's there to point it out. But my man is here to point that what she's wearing are no clothes. There are no clothes to what she has to say. Let's continue.
By women, and 8% had equal male-female ownership. The numbers are there. This is where black women get caught up. The ones that look at, we own more businesses. Black women represent 42% of women-owned businesses. 42% of women-owned businesses. 3 times their share of the female population. And 36% of all black-owned employer businesses. And these are 2 articles. I wanted to make sure we covered all bases. Now, let's get into the numbers of those women-owned businesses, black women-owned businesses.
Okay, let's go back again.
Now, let's get into the numbers of those.
So you heard what he had to say here. You heard what he said. Women ownership share of businesses grouped by racial or ethnic identity owner. Yes, black women are outpacing women-owned business. Are the trendsetters in terms of women-owned businesses, not black-owned businesses. That's the common mistake. She did not delve into the details. She thought of a soundbite that would sound good and make her look authoritative when in fact she had no authority to back it up. No authority to back it up. Shame, shame, shame. How did you get your law degree, Ebony K. Williams? They would tell you to go back to law school and start again. So, here's the proof. Black, non-Hispanic women leading the race in terms of women ownership, share of business grouped by racial ethnic identity of owner. 42% of all women, female-owned businesses are owned by black women. Yes, they're outpacing most women in terms of business. Let's continue.
Businesses, and these are 2 articles. I wanted to make sure we covered all bases. Now, let's get into the numbers of those women-owned businesses, black women-owned businesses. Black women entrepreneurs earn $24,000 average revenue, according to the report. Only 3% of black women are running mature businesses. One explanation may be the types of businesses started. Our analysis shows that 61% of black women entrepreneurs start businesses in either retail, wholesale, or the health, education, government, or social services sectors.
Stop there. Only 3% of black women are running mature businesses. He's right. Yes, our analysis shows that 61% of black women entrepreneurs start their business in either retail, clothing stores, or accessory stores, where there's not a lot of markup. There's not a lot of profits to be had unless you own your own product and you could charge an exorbitant sum, or the health, education, government, social services sectors, areas in which they major. You know how I know that? We go back to Talk Live. We go back to this story. Remember we were talking about the pay gap? Remember we were talking about the pay gap a couple weeks back in early April? And now there is no gender wage gap? Let us look again at the story from at the post from PragerU. how there is no wage gap and what businesses ladies are likely to end up in. And it's virtually shown by their college entrance and where they select their degree programs. Let's go into it.
Well, let's look at some of those choices. Georgetown University compiled a list of the 5 best-paying college majors and the percentage of men and women majoring in those fields. Number 1 best-paying major, petroleum engineering, 87% male. Number 2, pharmaceutical sciences, 48% male. 3, mathematics and computer science, 67% male. 4, aerospace engineering, 88% male.
An area, mind you, that my nephews are into. Aerospace engineering. A highly male-dominated STEM field of study and career.
5, chemical engineering, 72% male. Notice that women outrepresent men in only one of the 5 top-paying majors.
Right, so we have petroleum engineering, pharmaceutical sciences, mathematics and computer science, aerospace engineering, and chemical engineering. Thank goodness I didn't need glasses for that. But let us go back to what black women are settling for. Here we go again, back to Talk Live. I hope I am on the splitter because I'm showing some statistics here. Just want to check that out. Oh, it's on a full cam. There we go. Right, we're back. Naughty, body. Okay, we're good to go now. So, again, we've shown some statistics. Let's go back and recap quite quickly into some of these statistics. And we're back on Talk Live. Here we go. We're back here. Let's go back here for a little bit. Remember, let us recap. Here, black women lead women grouped by racial or ethnic identity of owner in terms of share of businesses. So more black women are opening more business in the United States than any other racial group, right? So they're the ones who are taking chances of women, not in terms of men, because we can go back here a little bit further. As it says here, there we go. We're going back to it. We're just recapping for everyone. By comparison, 55% of the majority of black or African American owned businesses in 2020 had male owners, while 37% were owned by women and 8% had equal or male-female ownership. And finally, you're saying that was capped. Well, there's a reason why it's capped because, and researchers has now shown that black women are the fastest group of entrepreneurs, yes, but lacking the resources to make entrepreneurship challenging. Let me read that again. Research has now shown that black women are the fastest group of entrepreneurs. Again, a lot of masculine energy there, but their lack of resources makes their entrepreneurship challenging. Why is it challenging? Well, let's go back. Let's go back here. Yes, indeed. Let's go back here. We start here. Only 3% of black women are running mature businesses. One explanation for this may be the types of businesses started. Our analysis showed that 61% of black women entrepreneurs start businesses in either retail, wholesale, health, education, government, or social sectors. Not money-making ventures. They pay the bills, but they're not ones in which women can earn a large amount of profit and therefore a lot of revenue share and employ a lot of people. There is that. And again, we go into the 5 top majors, money-making majors in colleges in the United States: petroleum engineering, pharmaceutical sciences, mathematics, computer science, aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, STEM careers, in which pharmaceutical sciences is the only one women get into. The rest are pretty much dominated by men. But what are women getting into? Well, I've already shown you that on Talk Talk Live. Oh, sorry, I went a little further there. We've already shown you that on Talk Talk Live, but let us continue as to what women are getting into. We showed this earlier on this month.
Only 3 percentage points. Now consider the same study's list of the 5 worst paying college majors. Number 1, counseling and psychology, 74% female. 2, early childhood education, 97% female. 3, theology and religious vocations, 66% male. 4, human services and community organization, 81% female. And 5, social work, 88% female. Here, it's the women who lead in all but one category. Even within the same...
Again, we go back to it on Talk Talk Live. Let's just move it just a little bit forward here. There it is. And it links very, very easily and quickly with the statistics that my man here at Media Man has already pointed out. Our analysis shows that 61% of black women entrepreneurs starting businesses in either retail wholesale. That was, I don't believe that was on the list, but it should have been. Health, well, you can't get a degree for retail wholesale. Health, on the list. Education, on the list. Government and social services, on the list. The least earning majors in colleges are run by women. Black women, to be in fact. So to say that they outpace men is, again, a bit of a fallacy. Again, a bit of a fallacy. So there is no pay gap, and also, black women ain't running much of anything at all. Continue.
In either retail, wholesale, or the health, education, government, or social services sectors. That's why they earn less. So now I want you guys to look at how they worded this report. Black women are more likely to start a business than white men. You see how they worded that? It makes it seem like black women are killing it in regards to business. Black women are in the process of starting or running new businesses. That's compared to just 10% of white women and 15% of white men. So to give a black woman actually some credit, black women are starting businesses, but they're starting them in the wrong industries. They need to start businesses in areas that make more money. So amongst women, yes, black women own the share of businesses, but they're not making that much money. So this,
like I already said on Talk to Talk Live, they are earning money in areas that don't pay well. Yeah, sure, you're opening businesses. Yeah, you're opening at an alarming rate. And that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, are you making money? Not really. Not really. Why? Because you're getting into areas such as seen here, counseling, psychology, early childhood education, human sciences and community organization, and social work. You don't earn much there. You don't. So you can open all the businesses you want. Are you making money at it? Probably not, because you're not necessarily risk takers.
Try and trip the black community up, and this is how they trip a lot of black women who hate black men up, because they'll word it to make it seem like black women are just outpacing black men. It's actually not true. Let's go here. This is another one. This is how they look at how they word this. A higher share of black-owned businesses are women. Women-owned businesses than non-black businesses. So the way they word it, it makes it seem like black women are killing it. So look at the data. Black Business Month shows that black Americans own 2% of the nation's 6 million businesses with employees. And that's where black people as a whole need to improve. Yes, we need to own more businesses, but I have to sit and spend time trying to level set the damn conversation by telling black women, no, you are not doing better than black men when it comes to businesses. I shouldn't have to spend time on this. We should be having streams on how we need to employ more of us. And I got something that's going to shock you all. I want you guys to see this. And I want black women who hate black men to see this as well, because we need to do better. This is where the black community community is failing as a whole. You see,
Before I get into it, when I always say early, I would say within the last year on Talk Live about that blackdemographics.com, this is to what I'm referring. This graph right here, well, the people who created these polls came from blackdemographics.com. Black statistics for black people, blind black people from the U.S. Census Bureau. That is their source. An annual business survey. That is their source. Legitimate sources that blackdemographics.com have put up for our edification. Clearly, Ebony K. Williams did not care to read this because it would make her look bad. It would make her look very bad. But let's continue.
Here, way at the bottom, 1.2 million jobs were created by the businesses that black people own, and it can only employ 5% of the population. We generate $127 billion in annual revenue from our businesses, and then enough to give every working age adult $4,842 a year.
So, this is a far cry from when, if judged for inflation, the way it used to be during the silent generation and during the baby boom generation, when black businesses were virtually on their own. They had no help from white business. They had no incentives from the government, which were white run. So black job creation had to come from us. And that number, if averaged for inflation, would have been way higher. I would say 50, 60, 70, 80 to 100 years ago. Remember Black Wall Street in Tulsa. Remember Rosewood. Remember Harlem. When black people had to fend for themselves, create their own business, and they did it lucratively because we kept money within ourselves. What has happened now is when we've taken our money and pushed it out towards white-owned employees, and white-owned employers, and white-owned businesses. Asian-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses. We don't invest in ourselves the way we used to, or anymore, period. So instead of fighting ourselves, Ebony K. Williams, why don't we get together, get our heads together, and improve on this sorry statistic or statistics? Instead of you coming down on black men trying to make yourself look good. Of which you don't right now. You've really shown your true colors. You've really shown how ugly you really are. Let's continue.
Here, we are at the bottom, guys. So we spending too much time trying to level set the conversation and trying to see who's doing better than who, when in actuality, white people, Asians, and Hispanics are doing better than us when it comes to owning businesses. So we do not have time as a community to be going back and forth with each other, trying to help our black women understand that black men are not beneath you, because we have our own issues to deal with. We need to start employing more of our black people. We need to own more businesses so we can generate that revenue and that wealth instead of sitting there arguing with each other. This is simple. We are at the bottom. So we ain't got time to be sitting there complaining about each other and whatever. Black men don't do that. Black men don't sit there and compare ourselves to black women. We got to work together. That's the only way that we're going to succeed. If you're a person that is involved in the black community, y'all need to understand we don't have time to be sitting there arguing with each other about who makes more than what. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and fault black men because we don't do that. We don't compete with black women. Black women compete with us for some odd reason. I don't understand it. I'm just trying to level set the conversation.
There's a reason why black women themselves try to compare themselves to black men, because they see themselves as superior to them. Sad but true. They do think that they are superior to us when the numbers don't say it. Number one. And number two, my dad was one of those black men that opened his own business. His own $1 million business in terms of revenues. He employed black people himself. He employed his family, including myself. And what thing he never did and does not have time to do is argue with women like Ebony K. Williams. Doesn't have time for it. His mind is on his money, and money is on his mind 24/7, 7 days a week, and he has created a platform of generational wealth to which may help not only his children's generation, his grandchildren's generation, his great-grandchildren's generation, and many family members in between. He doesn't have time for Ebony taking slights at her own people. That's what gets black men angry, is because why are you coming at us when we don't even come at you? Why? The question remains, why? Why are you ill-researched? You lack any depth of analytical mind here, and you consider yourself a member of the bar, wherever you are. Have shame on yourself. Have absolute shame on yourself, Ebony K. Williams, because you think your ish don't stink. So you can throw out labels and diatribes and epithets, thinly veiled epithets to be exact, and expect no reaction, thinking that you're holier than thou. I'm sorry, my dear. This was coming. And believe me, there's a part 2 to this on the next Talk to Talk Live. There is a part 2 to this. This is only part 1. We're only delving into the numbers of actual black-owned businesses to which Ebony K. Williams is spouting lies. Spouting absolute, utter tripe. Tripe, I say. And I'm glad my man, again, I keep forgetting his name, but he is doing wonderful work. Media Man, please subscribe to Media Man. He has done yeoman's work. More research than an absolute lawyer doing this, who calls herself a member of the bar, throwing out barbs like they're going out of style and being sold at half price. It is amazing what she has done here. Amazing work. And I mean that facetiously. I mean to be ironic with that. That's a Bronx cheer when you come to think about it. An absolute Bronx cheer for this lady, because she has set herself back decades with her lack of moral compass and research into what she says. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But again, she had to be set straight. So shout out to Media Man for doing so. Let's continue, people.
Research says that women are now out-earning men. Out-earning men in 22 of the largest cities in America, including where I live, New York, D.C., L.A., you name it.
There are women.
I'll let my man continue.
On podcasts that are saying that women are out earning men. Let me show y'all the actual report from the Pew Research Center. Young women are out earning young men in several cities. So if you look at the headline, you're like, oh wow, that's true. Let me show y'all something. The gender wage gap is narrow among younger workers nationally, and the gap varies across geographical areas. In fact, in 22 of 250 U.S. metropolitan areas, women under the age of 30 earn the same as or more than their male counterparts, according to the new Pew Research Center Analysis Census Bureau data. 22 out of 250. So that is the narrative that these women are running with. Women are earning more money than men in 22 out of the 250 metropolitan. Two.
Let's dig into that again. Let's dig a little deeper with that. There you go. There it is. The gender weight, 22 or 250 U.S. metropolitan areas. She said 22 cities. Never specified what those cities were. Never gave you the depth of how many cities were being made up within this Pew Research Center analysis. She only wanted you to get a soundbite to make her and black women sound good. And that's a disservice. That is what you call misrepresentation. She would know that. That's a lie, people. A misrepresentation is a lie. And read again. In fact, 22 of 250 U.S. metropolitan areas, women in 22 of 250 metropolitan areas. Let's do the math on that. Let's calculate that. Because we're all about calculation here on Talk Live. Let's get the calculator out quite quickly. Yeah, let's get the calculator out. Here he is. Okay, calculator, thank you very much. Let's calculate this here on Talk Live. Let's do it live. 22 divided by 250 equals 8%. In 8% of U.S. cities polled, we'll go up 9%. It's 0.88. 9% of U.S. cities polled is where you find women out-earning men. In 9% of U.S. cities, women out-earn men. We're going to get into this, though. Thank you very much for Talk Live, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to get into the weeds, though. My man, Media Man, did not mince words. His job was to eradicate all of which she has said, all of those assertions she has made, because it's time that it was done. Let's continue.
Pew Research Center Analysis Census Bureau data. 22 out of 200. 9%
of U.S.
That
cities.
is the narrative that these women are running with. Women are earning more money than men in 22 out of 200.
9% of U.S. cities.
And I'm not done. Let me show y'all. So these are the metropolitan areas where women earn more than men. Some of the most notable: San Diego, New York, Washington, San Angelo, Texas, Yuba City, California. I was actually stationed at Bill Air Force Base back in the day when I first joined. Gainesville, Florida, Barnstable Town, Massachusetts, Morgantown, West Virginia, Washington, Arlington, Alexandria. So these are the areas where women earn more money than men. And like I said,
Again, this is 30 and younger, this demographic. This is what that accounts for, right? And let's call a spade a spade. A lot of these ladies, there are major cities in which these ladies have earned a lot of this money, including San Diego, New York, Washington. Fair dues. You are earning more than men at the age of 30, but there's a twist. See, the thing is, men don't reach their peak earnings potential until much later in life. You'd have to advance that another 20 years before men catch up, if not pass. Because again, when it comes to affirmative action, when it comes to certain positions, as long as you're black and female, you're first in. You're the first ones to be taken on board for jobs. So that's to account for the wage gap. But In time, men catch up if not surpass. But we'll show you in a minute. Hold on. We'll get there. Hold on. Let's go.
I'm not going to stop there. I want to drive home this point. So, there are 170 metros where young women earn between 90 and 99% of what young men earn. Nearly half, 47% of young women working full-time year-round lived in these areas in 2019. In another 103 metros, young women earn between 80 and 89% of what men earn. These areas were home to 17% of young women who were employed full-time year-round in 2019. So again, let me just make sure I'm clear. They're talking about women under 30 earning more than young men in 22 of the 250 metropolitan areas. Young women. So, like I said, I'm not done. I'm driving home this damn point. So, gender wage gap among U.S. workers in the U.S. is the widest in the Midwestern metro area. So, if you see here, the yellow is men. In every area, men earn more money than women. Y'all see that? Cool. We clear on that? Ladies who hate men? So, y'all thought I was done? No. This is the area where I live. Did you guys know that you can go to the Pew Research Center and you can actually type in where you're from and you can see what the wage gap is? Huh. Yeah, crazy, right? They take care of all this for you. So, from in Houston, in the Woodlands and the Sugarland area, this is pretty much Harris County, women earn 81% of what men earn. Let's go to the next one. I just pulled some of the ones that's more important. So, I know we have a lot of people from Atlanta, and I know women like to cite Atlanta. Women are killing it in Atlanta. Well, let me show y'all what the stats say. Women earn 84% of what men earn in Atlanta. Now, for women ages 16 to 29 in Atlanta, they earn 99%, and that goes into the point where younger women, age 30 and below, they do very well. Now, you see where that changes? Women ages 30 to 49 in the Atlanta area, again, make 84% of what men earn. Let's go here.
Before we go into that, I gotta get my thing back on Talk Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Before we get into that, I want you to note something here. That 30 to 49 year age group. This is when men start hitting their financial stride. I've always said that on Talk to Talk Live. Kevin Sanders said it. Fresh and Fit has said it. All these pundits have said it. Men don't start hitting their stride until after the age of 30. After. And I see one of my Jay's pictures there getting these Boston Brands out are headhunters, man. They're trying to. Anyway, men start hitting their financial stride after the age of 30. That's when they start hitting higher wages because their hard work is starting to pay off here. This is where you're starting to get a lot more influence with the ladies at this age. So you start to see a gap showing up where women are earning 84% of what men earn, previous to what they used to earn under age of 30, where they used to be on par, if not even, with men. Because men are doing the dangerous, the dirty, things that are, and the jobs that are moving society forward, including STEM. We just had to stop there and Talk Live on Instagram. We're going to go back to it now and start again. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. The Instagram here is playing up, and I don't know why. But anyways, we're going to go in again with it. I make sure that I am in the place to be. Yep, we're good. It's just that they're deciding, Instagram's deciding that they are not ones to be played with today, which is a shame. And we go into it. Yes, but let's continue here on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. And we're still recording here on the. Let me make sure that I am good here. You know what? Let me do this because I don't know. Let's check out. Yes, let's go that way. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see if that does anything for us. And we're just checking out Instagram here. Yes, we're good. We're good. Nope, we don't need that. Thank you very much. And now let's go back again. Yes, indeed. Okay, we're good here. We're live there. Thank goodness. Oh my God. It's terrible reception. But anyways, we're back here live on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Spring summer line out now. So, men hit their financial side between ages of 30 to 40. Even in Atlanta, you start seeing a gap appear between what women earn and what men earn. Women earning 84% of what men earn. Because men start hitting their financial stride. But that's already been said. That's already been said. So let us continue.
50 plus women make 76% of what men earn. Y'all see that? So you see how that changes? You know that whole notion when we talk about men, you don't hit their financial stride until they're older? Those numbers reflect that. And the reason why I say that, I want to show you guys something. Peak years are generally thought to be late 40s to 50s. The latest figures show women's peak between ages 35 and 54. Men peak between 45 and 64. Most people's income typically level off. Promotions favor younger people with longer futures, which is how it's supposed to be. But men don't tend to hit their financial stride until 45 to 64. That's why those numbers reflect that. Now, your peak earning years may be closer than you think. According to compensation research firm PayScale, full-time workers with bachelor's degrees tend to make the most money in their 40s and 50s. PayScale also found when you earn the most during your career depends on your gender. Pay growth for college-educated women essentially stops around age 40. For college-educated men, wages continue to grow for another decade and peak in their early 50s. Now, let's go here. Male college graduates, and this may shock you, earn more from the get-go. They bring home a median salary of $50,000 a year at age 22, while their female counterparts, this goes to their useless degrees, earn $39,000 per year for a $11,000 difference. From ages 22 to 33, women's pay actually grows slightly faster than men. And then, however, a shift occurs at age 34 when women's earning growth starts to slow and men's remain steady. So there you have it. It goes into the narrative of men hitting their financial stride when they get older, and women tend to level off or go lower. But the shocking thing is that men actually earn $11,000 or more as soon as they graduate college because they go into more useful degrees or they end up getting a trade or something.
They are not positioned.
So there it is. The man said it himself. Men are usually, and that's why Yana has to laugh, because quite simply what she's saying isn't true. Let's go into it again. Male college graduates earn more and more from the get-go. They bring home a median salary of $50,000 at age 22, while their female counterparts earn $39,000. Why? As we've already shown on Talk Live tonight, they go into degrees that are less earning. Things like childcare, things like early childhood education, things like counseling, things like social work, that are government bound businesses to which people aren't paid a lot of money. They're not paid a lot of money. Not paid a lot of money. Again, and especially women, in which they're not paid a lot of money. From ages 22 to 32, women's pay actually grows slightly faster than men's. Yes, because they're paid by government service and they have a certain salary in which women are paid. They have a higher starting amount. However, the shift occurs at age 34 when women's earning growth starts to slow and men's remain steady. So therefore, while men are steadily rising, women's salaries are capped. So they get a spike of earnings, and then it levels off for women. For men, it's steadily a rise. And then by 34, the chart shoots past women in terms of earnings. But try telling that to Madame Ebony K. Williams. Shame. Let's continue.
Useful degrees, or they end up getting a trade or something.
They are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources.
Lies. How can such legal counsel as Miss Williams come out and assert things to which she has no proof, no evidence, no precedent, no legal recourse to make such assertions? Because she's trying to be sensational. She's trying to make herself and black women look good, when in fact, the opposite is the case. And remember, this goes unprovoked. It's not as if black men let out and shot a warning shot across the bow of black women. No. Black women did this because feminism in the black community sees women as being superior to men and not their equals. Let me say that again. Feminism in the black community, and it's starting to filter out into the wider diaspora, but feminism sees black women, feminism in the black community sees women as being superior to men than their equals. Which is what feminism was all about, to begin with. And that's a shame. Because as we've shown by the statistics, we need each other. We need to build a base of business support. We're not here to point fingers. We're not here to show who's superior and who's inferior. We're here to get work done. We're here to make a better showing in the economy of the developed world, of which we are sorely lacking. In which we are sorely lacking.
Women like Ebony K. Williams, I seen in the comment section, there were a lot of women saying, black people are the only race that tell black women that they have to settle. So, let me show you something in regards to finances. Who's settling for who? Black men make more money than black women. Lastly, like again, there are 506K more married black men than black women. Even though there's approximately 1.7 million more black women than black men. In 2021, the annual earnings for black men was $50,000, a little over $50,000. In 2021, the annual earnings for black women was $46,000. $3,600 difference between how much black men and women make. And this was from the 2023 first quarter earnings. Black men, the median usual earnings of full-time wage and salary workers was $909 weekly, which is $3,600 monthly, $43,000 annually, and earnings stayed the same throughout the year. Black women median usual earnings of full-time wage and salary workers were $862 weekly, $3,400 monthly, $41,000 annually, and earnings stayed the same throughout the year. That's a difference of $2,256,000 and how much black men and women would have if the earnings stayed the same. So the only reason why I'm sharing this is because of the fact that black women all believe that they make more money than black men. And so there were a lot of times people say, well, let's compare black men to white men. That wasn't the argument. Y'all say the same. So
Let's go back before we get into that.
2 weekly, 3,400 monthly,
And
41.
this is where I want to go here. There we go.
First
Wait.
quarter earnings. 0.7 million more black.
Here we go. Let's go back. Let's take it back to this statement by this lady here because, sometimes you get that odd individual who says, what? Let's continue.
The resources.
Women like Ebony K. Williams, I seen in the comment section there were a lot of women saying black people are the only
So you got black women who come in saying black women are the only minority of people who are asked to settle. This isn't even a question worth considering for Asians, Hispanics, and immigrants. Black households also make the least amount of money than any other minority group. We need to break generational poverty and create more doctors, lawyers, and leaders. Nothing wrong with being a bus driver, and there's a whole dating pool of bus drivers. But if you're a lawyer, doctor, engineer, it's okay to want that as well. But here is the deal. As has been said for not only black women, for all women, the further up you go in terms of earnings, the smaller your pool is of men. Very small. And high value men don't want to marry themselves because that's who these doctors, lawyers, and leaders want. They want high value men. A lady like Stacey Adams, that's the reason why she's single. A lady like Ebony K. Williams, that's the reason why she's single. Because she wants a man earning as much as them, but you know what? Those men don't want them. And I've said that time in, time out, here on Talk to Talk Live. Men don't want to date themselves, as has been said by Fresh and Fit. They don't want to date themselves. They don't want anyone masculine coming home and emasculating them, when they've had to face and fight the world for 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. They don't want to do it. And then to come home to fight it with another masculine entity. That's the reason why a woman like Ebony K. Williams was alone. And we'll show that again on the next Talk Live. We'll show that then. How masculine Ebony K. Williams is and how self-confessed Ebony K. Williams is in terms of her masculinity. In terms of her masculine mannerisms. So again, black feminism is not about being equal to men, it's about being superior to men, and the numbers don't show it. And here we are again. We say, who sells for who? Black men make more money than black women within the U.S. Well, I'm sure around the world. But these are U.S. statistics. There are 556,387 more married black men than married black women. Why? Because black women have a fair or unfair connotation of being masculine. And men don't want to marry masculine. Nope. No race of men want to marry masculine. That's the stigma attached to black women. Real, false, or otherwise. So there are 556,387 more married black men than married black women, even though there are approximately 1,770,000 more black women in the U.S. alone. There are 1 million more black women, and yet there are more black men who are married than black women. Make that make sense? How there are less black men, but yet there are more married than the black women, because I can tell you what black men are. Black men, unfortunately, are, next to white men, the most desirable men on the planet. We could take our show on the road. Black women, not so much. We could take our show domestically. Black women, not so much. And we've got to make that clear. Because when you have women like Ebony K. Williams spouting non-truths, it only adds to the mystique only adds to the stereotype, only adds to the negative connotations black women have. That leads to the marriage statistics. And again, as it's shown here, you have 2021, and learning to black men outpace black women by $3,000. We move on. Again, as of 2023 first quarter, black men are still earning more than black women by $2,000. So who indeed is settling for who? You who represent black women, Ebony K. Williams, are getting it so wrong. So wrong. And we didn't even come for you. Black men didn't even come for you. You just want to come for us. You want to look good in the eyes of the world. You want to make yourself eligible with yourself, but there's a reason why you're 40 and unmarried. And that is, men don't want to marry themselves. Sorry. Even if you may out-earn a lot of men, but not all men. Definitely not high-value men.
Workers was $909 weekly, which is $3,600 monthly, $43,000 annually, and earnings stayed the same throughout the year. Black women median usual earnings of full-time wage and salary workers were $862 weekly, $3,400 monthly, $41,000
Let's move on.
annually. If earnings stayed, black women all believe that they make more money than black men, and so there were a lot of times people say, "Well, let's compare black men to white men." That wasn't the argument. Y'all always using it against us. It's always black women bringing this up. But if you must know, so the white men median earnings was $1,222 weekly. That's $4,888 a month. That's $58,000 a year. White women, $1,007 a week. $4,028 a month. That's $48,000 a year. Black men come in third, $909 weekly, $3,636 a month, and $43,632 a year. Black women, $862 a week, $3,448 a month, and $41,376,000 a year. So black women come in last. White men make more money. Asian men actually make more money on a weekly scale than everyone, right? But we're just going off white men, white women, black men, black women. Black men and black women come third and fourth, with black women coming in last. So the argument is not about, it only gets brought up because black women think that they make more money than black men, so they say that they have to settle for black men. So that's why I said, who's settling for who? Sometimes our women, like, y'all don't look at the statistics and break this down for yourselves, because this causes issues on the dating market, because black women truly believe that they're doing so much better than black men. And it's not true. Just look at the statistics, ladies. It's simple. We're not your enemy. We're not your competitor. We are not your competition. It's crazy that we have to level set the conversation every time, because Ebony K. Williams will get on the show, or somebody like her, and say that, well, black women, we're not finding what we're looking for. Did you ever consider that other races of people may be settling for you all as well, since you guys are the lowest earners out of white and black men and women? Have y'all ever thought about that?
I'll leave it there, people. Thank you very much to Medium Man, who did a very thorough, excellent analysis, refuting all of which Ebony K. Williams has to say. And that's why she is being cooked, absolutely roasted in social media and other mediums such as YouTube and Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram on this subject. Because they're outright lies. She's telling lies. She's telling outright, utter lies. Statistics that do not bear fruit was the fact stated statistics, as the Godfather Kevin Samuels used to say. And his anniversary is coming up on his death. God rest his soul. If he heard such statistics from her, and if he still was alive today, he would absolutely fry this woman. Not advocating violence against women, but proverbially, of course. Absolutely fry her. Because none of what she says is true. And this is where feminism goes wrong. They believe their hubris to such an extent that they think anything they say will stick, and no one will tell them that they have no clothes. No one will point out to the emperor, you have no clothes. Oh, yes, I do. No, you don't. No one will call her, she thought that no one would call her bluff. Let's go back to the main screen. She thought no one would call her literal bluff. Well, it turns out black men did. This one black man did. He did. And now she's making Ebony K. Williams look like an absolute jackass. And she didn't need to, because no black men came for her. No one did. We didn't want to do that. Listen, we're at the bottom when it comes to job creation. We're at the bottom when it comes to owned businesses. Where it used to be one of the top, if not the top, ethnic areas of business. Ethnic business owners in America, if not North America. Because we had to survive on ourselves. It's all about self-sufficiency. And money, keeping money within the black community. And we used to be leaders of that, so much so that white people would want to get in on our racket. Because we were making so much money amongst ourselves. Now we're taking that money and moving it elsewhere. Unfortunately. And what we need to do, we need to gather our resources and support each other like we once did. When it used to be the silent generation. When it used to be the baby boom generation. And we had to depend on ourselves. But that is gone now. And all we are left with are women like Ebony K. Williams spouting that they, including she being a black woman, are superior to black men, when that is not the case. It doesn't bear out math. It doesn't bear out in statistics. It doesn't bear out in the data. It doesn't bear out in marriage numbers. And again, it shouldn't be that way. This is where feminism and black feminism in particular goes wrong. Where what you say cannot be backed up by facts, data, statistics. They're just rhetoric, making you feel better. It's a placebo. It's not an actual cure. And this coming from a learned member of the bar, wherever it is, it's a bit of a travesty. It's a bit of a letdown. It's a bit of a disappointment. And where injustice lies, it must be pointed out, no matter who the source is. I'm sure many men would have all the time in the world for Ebony K. Williams if she wasn't so damn masculine. And if she wasn't so damn wrong. And we await her chance to recant said statements, but I'm sure she'll double down. as will be seen by tomorrow on Talk Live, yes, there is a part 2 to this, where she takes another swipe at black men using modern feminism as her base, as her platform. And we must indeed delve into that on tomorrow's Talk Live. Yes, we'll be going live tomorrow. Short show. But I have a special video that I want to show you with regards to what Ebony K. Williams had to say about black men in general and dating black men in particular. So I want you to come back to me on Talk Live and join me as we move on to how Ebony K. Williams further embarrasses herself with what she has to say, with modern feminism being her point of view. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live, where black feminism goes wrong. Again, I took a little bit of Dave Chappelle there, in my title, but I think it was quite apt in this instance. And we're going to be back tomorrow night. Just a quick one tomorrow. But I want to end every weekend white because I've only done 2 shows for you this week. And I want to make sure that I have 3. And this one would be very apt in this instance. So, we'll get back to Ebony K. Williams. So look forward to that. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It's all sponsored by Done Talk, DONTALK.com. Shorts Done Talk. Top belongs to my nephew. Shout out to him and to the Pinball Clemens Foundation using this shirt as their logo for this year's charity ball this June. So I throw a little mention out there and shout out to my nephew, whom I am well pleased and whom our family is well pleased, and whom I believe we're raising a high value man himself. He's a high value man in training, and he's doing wonderfully well, and God bless him. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we will be back to you tomorrow night. And good night from Toronto. And to my YouTube viewers, thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Again, more features, more things are coming out on the channel soon. We will be posting our Instagram. We will be doing a bit more shorts and other such things. We will be delving into that over the next couple in the coming days and weeks, because I have to make up for a lost time, and I'm hoping to do that this weekend. So thank you for joining me on Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. More shorts, more videos to come, and